Well, hello everyone. Now that Irma has come and gone, I can find some time to work on the coupe now. So what I'm going to try to do now is go ahead and fit the new radiator and grill shell. Right there is the stock 29 radiator and grill shell. So what I want to do is I want to get the hood line to remain the same. So in order to do that, it's got a little bit of a slant from there to there, slant forward. So I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go ahead and take a measurement with the stock hood for the height of where the hood goes on the radiator shell. And then I should be able to duplicate that on the 32 shell. So right there, come on, right there is about 28 7/8 to the lip here. So now if I take this off, put the new radiator, I can set the shell at the same height, 28 7/8. Yeah, 28 7/8. All right. Okay, so I have the new radiator sitting on there, and that grill shell, the 32 grill shell, is just sitting there right now. So if I take you back over here and take a measurement, I need to raise this lip right here to 28 7/8. So that would bring me up about, let's see, right there it's at 28, so I'm about 7/8 of an inch short. So it would be about right there. And then that will give me what I need to trim off. Which according to the Tardell book is 1 3/4 inches. And I do have that marked on here. Yeah, 1 3/4 inches. So that's pretty close. I think I could safely cut that 1 7/8 inch off and still be well within that. The 32 grill shell is longer, and it has to fit. See where my front cross member is here? This part of the shell has to fit over that and back so that it slides back over my radiator. So that's what you have to trim off when you're going to do it. You can see down here how the stock one is trimmed off. I'm just going to raise that line 1 3/4 inches, and hopefully it will slide back in there. And then I'm going to have to worry about getting these mounts lined up right. But that's later. I could just cut it to fit it in there right now. Alright, be back in a minute. Yeah, looks like it's going to be inside my lines. Alright. Alright, well after measuring, cutting and trimming more, got the cutout all done, got the corners radius real nice and filed and sanded down real smooth, and fits on there pretty good height wise. I have it the same height as the Model A was. So I have the top tabs mounted. There's little indentations right here where the bolt goes through or screw goes through, so that it clears everything. Now on the bottom, those indentations don't line up. Indentation's way down there, and the bracket's way up here. Been thinking about cutting the indentations out, cutting this area out, and then welding that indentation in where I can use this bracket. It's either that or figure out some other way to mount the bottom utilizing this little indentation. So that's where I'm at. I'm figuring it out right now. With the hood, there's a difference in this new radiator. The distance between the radiator and this little mounting bracket. So the stock Model A rods wouldn't fit. Luckily, I had the set from my 1939 donor car. They were longer, so what I did is I cut, chamfered, and welded, them to the right size. So now I could use those. But it's looking pretty good. It's getting that little bit of a look to it. So now I'm going to figure out what to do with those bottom mounts. Well, I installed the little front hinge keeper so that I could install my hood so that I could get the spacing from the cowl to the back of the grill shell, so that my gaps and everything, are right. I had to figure out how far the shell would go forward or backwards. It's pretty good right where it is. I installed like a little 1/8 inch washer right here to kind of pull it out a little bit to get my spacing right. And but as you can see, the 32 grill shell and radiator is thinner than the Model A, and then the Model A hood, that front part is sticking out like that. So what I think I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to recontour that hood to where the radius right here comes in tighter so that it sits more flush. Well, I needed to tighten the radius on the front part of that hood, so I looked around the shop, and the only thing I had really was a welding cylinder, and it's a little bit smaller radius, which is good because the metal's gonna flex back a little bit. So I'm gonna try using that. We'll see how it goes. Well, that worked pretty good. The radius is closer. It doesn't take much pressure at all just to pop that in there like that. So that's better. Well, the top of the hood fits fine on there without the sides, but as soon as you put on the sides, it wants to bow back out again because the way it lines up. If I take off that back clamp there, push in here, it angles out like that. So it's either don't run a hood, which I really want to, I mean a full hood. I could run the half hood, or hate to do it, but I guess I could kind of pie cut along the hood here to preserve that hinge and take out some of this metal so it will come down and line up again. Not sure. I thought about a 30-31 hood because they're narrower in the front, but then they're wider in the back. So that wouldn't work. I don't know. we'll see. Alright, well, after a lot of stitch welding and grinding and sanding and shaping, it's pretty good. The line, like the weld line and stuff, is pretty straight and came out pretty good. The line here from the back, kind of tell from the cow, pretty even. Probably gonna have to come in just a little bit right there. And my lines are pretty good, or the panel lines. So I think this side is done. Now I have to start the other side. But it's gonna be worth it because it sure does look better, I think, like that. Plus it's maybe a little practice if I ever decide to chop the top. Alright, well, off to the other side. Alright, well, there's the other side done. And I think it came out pretty good. Got the sides all pretty straight. There's a tiny bit of a bump right here I'm going to have to take out with the body hammer, but I mean, it's pretty close for Model A. I am going to have to do a little bit of work on adding some metal to close these gaps up a little bit because the angle changed when I took that wedge out of there. But the back looks, you know, pretty good. Pretty good gaps, and but the good thing is the hood fits pretty well. I mean, there's a little bit there, but I think I have to trim part of the hinge. I think the hinge is hitting the grill shell there. Probably trim the grill shell, not the hinge. But anyway, it's fit. The Model A 2829 Model A hood is fit to that 32 grill shell. That was quite a little job there. But I think it was worth it. You know, try to step back here. Can't really see, got too much crap around. But anyway. So that was a full-on weekend project right there. Maybe this week I'll be able to figure out the lower grill shell mounts now that I have the hood fit, and then work on that shell, or the grill of the shell. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.